Hey everyone, welcome back to Omocho Reviews. Anne here today, and I am screaming about Yuri on Ice. Well, what's new about that? A lot actually, because since my last video, there have been some very important developments in the production, or should I say, amongst the players on the fringes of the production. Now let's be clear, there have been no official announcements yet. If you go to the official Yuri on Ice Adolescence website, there have been no updates since early this year. But we are starting to see different players start to move. They are, however, moving rather quietly, so if you're not following them, you actually might not know that this is happening. The first thing that clued me in to what's been happening is Dean Fujioka. Dean Fujioka, who sang History Maker, the opening theme song of Yuri on Ice, has just released a 2021 version of the song. It is titled simply History Maker 2021, and it is part of his Transmute Epigenesis album, which came out December 8th. It's a very good album, so I do suggest that you do listen to it. But one thing many people will notice is that most of the album is made up of tracks and singles that he released over the past 2 years, as in since 2019, which makes the tracks that he recorded purely for the album stick out more. History Maker 2021 is one of them. You can tell it was specially made for this album. It doesn't appear anywhere else. And it sports a very, very unique arrangement, one we haven't heard before, because Dean Fujioka, he has actually done different releases of History Maker since he first recorded it. He recorded a new mix for it for History in the Making, his album, and I do believe he recorded a duet version of the song with Toshiyuki Toyonaga, aka Yuri Katsuki's Seiyu, which is very special, but unfortunately it's pretty hard to find. I found it in the bowels of Tumblr somewhere. But back to History Maker 2021, if you haven't listened to it yet, go to Spotify, or I believe the Apple Store also has it. This arrangement is completely different from before. It is slowed down, it is wintry and cinematic, and after listening to it about maybe 50 times, I started noticing a few things about it. For one, I thought something was a little off with the first chords played in the song, until I realized they sounded awfully familiar, and they sound a lot like the Yuri on Ice free skate. Please do listen to it. Please tell me I'm not crazy. There is an uncanny resemblance. And the arrangement actually uses the same instruments as Yuri on Ice the free skate. You get piano at the beginning, and eventually it builds up to strings. So, coincidence? Maybe, maybe not. But if you've seen my previous video about Yuri on Ice, you'll know that this ties in kind of neatly to what I was predicting about Victor's career. Yeah, please go watch that. When you listen to the song and its climax, you feel there's a sort of finality about it. If my prediction about the span of Victor's career is correct, then I do believe this could actually be Victor's free skate. If not that, it could very well be an exhibition skate with him and Yuri Katsuki and Yuri Plisetsky, and they could actually recreate a more dramatic version of the opening for the final sequence of the movie. Who knows? I certainly don't. And I think it would be a great thank you to all the fans who waited for so long. Especially if my other theory is right, that this is gonna be the last we'll be seeing of Yuri on Ice for a while. I tried not to jump the gun with History Maker 2021 because, well, Dean Fujioka has re-released the song a few times in the past, and it is easily one of his most popular songs, if not the most popular song he's ever released. It could very well be just a personal celebration of a huge milestone in his career, but when I started checking on the Yuri on Ice production, I found out another player was moving. And that player is Mizuno. For those not familiar, Mizuno is a sportswear brand, and it is the brand that Yuri Katsuki is seen wearing all throughout the series from the very beginning until the very end. And recently in November, Mizuno collaborated with Yuri on Ice for Yuri Katsuki's birthday on November 29. But this year, they decided to release a new line of clothing just for Yuri's birthday. And also, if you look at the line of clothes, you can see that they really do resemble what Yuri was wearing in the show, to the point that it actually looks like very realistic cosplay. Again, this is not the first time Mizuno has collaborated with Yuri on Ice. In fact, no official brand is more associated with the show than them. But why so much effort for Yuri Katsuki's birthday? Well, turns out that they're planning something else. On December 26th this year, Yuri on Ice and Mizuno are releasing an official new illustration. This is huge, guys. Like, we have not gotten any official new content for Yuri on Ice in years, not unless you count the Mappa anniversary illustration that included Yuri and Makichin in it. But from the official production, definitely not. We haven't seen any new art from Mitsuru Kubo, the mangaka behind Yuri on Ice. So this is exclusively for December 26, and it is an exclusive collaboration with Mizuno. Some people might ask, why are they tying up with Mizuno? Why don't they just release the illustration out of nowhere? Well, one, Mizuno, like I said before, is very closely tied to the show, and also they have money, so I have a feeling something bigger is gonna happen than, just an illustration. But this leads us to ask, if it's not just the release of an illustration, what else could they possibly be planning on December 26th? If you've been a longtime fan of the show, you'll know that the 26th is a very, very important day. It is the birthday of Georgi Popovich. Well, yes, but actually no, December 26th isn't that significant in the world of Yuri on Ice. The final episode of the anime, however, did air on December 22, a few days before. They probably moved it back to allow for Christmas sales. Based on the hashtags that Mizuno is using, they are using this date to mark the 5th anniversary of the show. So, I don't think an official illustration alone is good enough to celebrate. I don't know about you. So, right now, I'm calling it. I have a feeling that December 26 will be the day that they are going to make an announcement about Ice Adolescence and its release date. Meaning that there is a huge chance that we are going to see Ice Adolescence in 2022. And if I'm right, well, my goodness, it took 6 years for Ice Adolescence to come out, and I sure as heck hope that it's gonna be everything we expected. I hope it's going to give us the closure that we all desperately need after waiting for so long. I have my own thoughts on what actually happened behind the scenes, and you can check that out. And yeah, again, my previous video. Even if there is no announcement, an official illustration, it's a big deal. It's a very big deal, because this will be the first new content that they'll ever release since they first announced Ice Adolescence. I really don't count the trailer that was dropped around this time last year, because that was an old trailer that was shown in Japan and only in Japan, so they just released it to the rest of the world. So I don't count that as new. What is coming on December 26th is completely new, and we will have a lot to say about it when it comes out, hopefully. Anyway, what do you think about what's been happening? Do you think Yuri on Ice is really going to come out in 2022? Just let me know in the comments. Let's scream together. Anyway, if you like this video, please do leave us a like. And if you want to see more on Yuri on Ice, I will probably be back with another video on the 26th. If not for the official announcement, then I'll just be over-analyzing the new illustration. Thank you again for watching another video from Omochi Reviews. This is Anne, and until next time, goodbye!